Hi guys, how is everybody doing? With the release of The Flash coming out this week, I have decided to review the two Tim Burton Batman movies. The reason I am reviewing these movies, and if you've been hiding under a rock or maybe you're just not interested, Michael Keaton's Batman is in fact in the Flash movie, so I thought it was fitting to review Tim Burton's two Batman movies starring Michael Keaton in the lead role. Before I begin with my thoughts, this is a very important movie, not just for me, but basically the entire DC universe. Now, we had DC movies before this Batman movie, but the Batman that we all knew was like this weird, goofy comedy TV series starting Adam West, which is a fine TV series, I will say that. But that wasn't Batman. That was a more comedic side to the character. And we also had a bunch of other DC movies where, like the Superman movie starring Christopher Lee, where they were all kind of comedies, though. They didn't take themselves too seriously. But then back in 1989, Tim Burton decided to direct a Batman starring Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. And so when they released this movie took a whole serious approach. There was no comedic elements. This was just a full-blown actual Batman story, and this changed DC forever, basically. We would not have all these serious DC movies basically without this movie. This is basically the Iron Man of the entire DC saga. We basically wouldn't have like Man of Steel, we wouldn't have any of these movies. This changed DC forever. And for the time, I bet people weren't ready for that. But nowadays, it's just like a normal movie where this movie is just a DC movie. But you got to look back back in the 70s and 60s, where all DC movies were basically just comedies with superheroes in them. But with that all out of the way, I will finally shut up talking about that and give you my thoughts on Batman '89. Up with the positives on Batman '89 is Danny Elfman's score. I feel this is probably the definitive answer for the Batman score. Sure, there are other awesome Batman scores out there, but to me, this is the definitive answer for a Batman score. If someone were to come up to me and ask me, what do you think is the best Batman score? I would say Danny Elfman's score from Batman 1989 and Batman Returns. I feel that this Batman score basically influenced almost every Batman score. This is kind of if you like watch the Batman animated series. If you haven't, what the fuck do you do with your time? You can tell that Danny Elfman's score is kind of influenced that, which I absolutely love. Every time I hear this score, I just immediately think of Batman. If you played like one tiny symbol from it, I would immediately go, "That is Batman." Danny Elfman does a great job with this score, and he has in fact worked with Tim Burton before in other movies like Edward Scissorhands and hell, even Beetlejuice. I absolutely love this score that Danny Elfman gave us, and it's probably one of the most influential scores ever in Hollywood history. Next positive is going to be Jack Nicholson's Joker. Now, I feel that for a while this was the best Joker until Heath Ledger came around. Jack Nicholson to me was fit for this role. When you watch a lot of his characters and a lot of his acting skills from his previous movie, God, what the hell is going on with my hair? If you see like all of his other movie roles that he's done, especially Jack from The Shining, why does Jack Nicholson always play characters named Jack? Huh. Like when you watch all of his crazy characters and all his other roles, you can tell he's fit for this role. And when you get an Academy Award winning actor to play the Joker, that just sounds like a little kid getting like $5 million. That is like a dream come true, and he does a great job. He does a great job portraying the character, showing like his actions. He just does a great job all around. He was perfectly cast. Sure, he can go overboard a few times, but that's what I love about Jack Nicholson's Joker. He has fun with this role. You could tell Jack Nicholson was having fun with this role. If you even watch some of the behind the scenes and interviews, people said that he improvised and he was just having a good time. And he was sure he even acted crazy in this movie, but he was a very nice person behind the camera when he wasn't in the role. People said that he was like a very nice person. The only fault that I can give to his Joker is that I don't really care for the parts where he puts on like makeup to look like he has like regular skin and not a bunch of makeup on, which is kind of weird. I also find it weird that he falls into a bunch of chemicals and all those chemicals make him like white, his hair green and red lips. I never understood that. But it's technically in the comics. It's in the comics actually. I don't know. That part I just never understand. I absolutely love Jack Nicholson's Joker. He was perfectly cast, and I am surprised that the motherfucker is still alive. No disrespect. We talk about Jack Nicholson. We gotta talk about Michael Keaton. What is there not to love about this guy? He is an awesome Batman. Two of my family members who grew up in the 90s when these movies first came out, who watched these two movies with Michael Keaton, they say that this is their favorite Batman. I don't blame them. Christian Bale's the best Batman. I'm just saying. But I feel that Michael Keaton in the role of Batman is awesome. You can tell that he's just having a good time. I feel that he portrays both characters very well. I feel he portrays Bruce Wayne amazingly, and I feel he portrays Batman awesomely. You can tell that he's like when he's playing Bruce Wayne, you can tell he's being like Bruce Wayne. He's being that serious person. He's just like, "Oh, hi, I'm Bruce Wayne." You can tell he's a rich guy. You can when he's not being Batman, he's just being like a normal person. Then when he is Batman, he can really be Batman, especially when he's in combat, the way he acts around people, like what he does with his voice, which isn't too deep, but it's deep enough to keep him like secret. I feel that Michael Keaton in the role of Batman is amazing, and I am so glad to see that he's finally back. And I really hope that we get a third movie with him. Thanks, Warner Brothers, you assholes. I'm joking. I absolutely love Michael Keaton in the role of Batman. He is absolutely perfect. Him and Jack Nicholson are great in the both roles, and the way that they're fighting each other and like the whole duo that they have going. I absolutely love those two, and they are easily the best part about this movie. Get in trouble for this one, but it's something I've always liked. I also kind of like the outfit of Batman. Sure, it is goofy where he has to like move his whole body if he wants to look. It's goofy. And like especially when he's fighting, he goes, "Oh, oh shit! Oh shit!" Sure, it's goofy, but that's how Batman was. Sure, even in I love how people are always bashing on Michael Keaton's Batman costume, but then when you look at Batman Begins, people don't bash on that one. What's going on there, huh? But I like the costume. It's iconic. I love the look of it, and especially with like the cowl and like the whole just suit thing going on. I love that. It's so much fun. Sure, it's goofy when he fights and moves around, but that's the point of it. Again, look at Batman Begins, man. Rewatch that movie. My final positive, we gotta talk about the direction of Tim Burton of this movie. Tim Burton is one of my all-time favorite directors of all time. I do not understand for the life of me why so many people dislike Tim Burton. Why? I love Tim Burton. He is one of the best directors out there. He's made some of my favorite movies. Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, fucking Corpse Bride. I just don't understand it for the life of me. He's made some of the best movies of all time. And people are saying just like, he's a mediocre director and I don't like the direction that he makes. Like, what? Look, I understand that some of the movies that he's directed are too dark for some people, but come on, man. I just love the direction he takes us. He finds moments where, when Batman is on screen, he finds moments where it's a Batman movie. Then when Joker's on screen, he makes it feel like that he is the best villain of the story. And then when we're in Gotham, he makes Gotham feel like its own character throughout the entire movie. I love the direction that this guy took this movie in. Again, I don't understand the life of me why Tim Burton is such an underrated director. Now moving on to my negatives. This is something that I've always hated. I have nostalgia for this movie. A lot of people don't like it because of like aging, but I've always had nostalgia for this movie and I've always loved this. But even when I was a kid, this always bothered me and I always fucking hated this. I've always hated this subplot where Joker is the man that killed Batman's parents. Look, I understand what they're going for, where Batman accidentally dropped Joker into these vat of chemicals and made him. They're doing this thing where Joker made Batman, Batman made Joker because Joker killed Bruce's parents and that influenced him to become the Batman. I understand they're doing this thing where they both created each other, but that's never been a thing in the comics. It probably never will be, and I absolutely hated that. It is so stupid. Like I don't like Well, what was your end goal there? I get it. You're doing this thing. It's like, hey, I made you. You made me. Can we just have like a normal movie where we just don't need to see that, and maybe Batman just wants to defeat Joker, and that which I understand it, but again, I feel that could have been. I honestly feel if you took out that entire subplot going on, it would make no difference. Now for my final negative. Now, I'm with a lot of people who are saying that Ben Affleck's Batman should not kill. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? I agree with that. But we also have to look at Michael Keaton's Batman. Now, if you watch Batman 89 and Batman Returns, he kills people. And if you read comic books, like if you read Batman's comics, you know that Batman does not kill. That is his one rule about being a vigilante. He does not kill. Now, I'm not one of those people where you have to follow everything by the book. I'm not one of those people that takes a comic book, slams it in front of the director or the production company. He's like, you need to follow this specifically. I'm not going to do that. It's not like the fucking Holy Bible where you have to do everything that that Bible tells you to do. I'm not one of those people. But if you're going to make a comic book movie about Batman, don't make him kill. I understand it with the Ben Affleck one, but also with Michael Keaton. He kills a bunch of fucking people. There's literally a part in this movie where he drives into like one of Joker's like sanctuaries, like one of hideouts where a bunch of his men is. He drives his Batmobile in there and just drops a fucking bomb when there's like 20 to 30 people in there and they're all dead. He downright murdered those people. And then there's another thing, which I get it with like the Batman subplot where Joker killed Batman's parents. There's a part in this movie where he kills the Joker. He seriously kills him when he's about to escape. He hooks his leg onto like a fucking statue on top of the church. Or at the final act when they're on top of the church, he hooks his leg onto the statue. And then he falls off and falls to his fucking death. And then he dies. I understand that Joker in like all the movies and comics are saying like he's trying to influence Batman, trying to kill him to make him look like a bad guy. But I don't know. I don't know why they decided it was like, hey, we're gonna have fucking Batman kill in our movie. Oh, guys, I like this movie. I understand it if people are saying like, oh, this is not a good Batman movie. It does not age well. Look, I understand that, but I have nostalgic for this movie. I've always loved this movie. This was one of the first Batman movies that I ever watched growing up. This is a Batman movie I would watch so many times when I was younger. I think this movie is a good Batman movie, and I feel that this is a Batman movie where I recommend that you go out and buy it. What do you guys think of Batman 89? Is this your favorite Batman movie? Is this one of your least favorite Batman movies? Do you have nostalgic for this movie like I do? Let me know in the comments below and we will talk about it. And if you like this video, like it. If you loved it, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you will get notified for my latest videos. But until my next video, take care.